Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Anyway Moving Forward. On our last episode, the very first one, the part one, we talk about the 10 things already. And this is a continuation of the other things that I've learned now that I am 33. And I hope that you guys are learning a lot. And in the first episode or in the first part, I really talked about being unattached of other people's opinion. Mainly it's all about that. And so in this next part, I'll be continuing. And I hope before we continue, I just want to thank everybody for taking the time to be here in this space, acknowledging your time, your dedication to learning a lot and making me a part of your journey. And for everybody who doesn't know me, my name is Livni. I'm a transformational life and energy coach and mentor. I work well with the energy, with emotions, with trauma healing, inner child healing, shadow work, and all that about energy. I'm just really passionate about what I do, and thus I keep on sharing what I know. All right, sige, let's continue. All the things that I'm going to share here is based on a post that I did on Instagram, which really got a lot of love, and I know that this is something that people needed to hear, and it is really a culmination of the 33 things that I have learned summarized in this post, because now that I am 33, I have been learning a lot, and yeah, I just really document the things that I have learned over the years because it's really different depending on where I am in life. And so I am now in a transition, in a journey that I have started owning up myself, my skills, my talent. I'm now starting my own business as someone who has worked in the corporate world. And I have also realized that I used to really believe in the safety is in the corporate. If someone is providing for me, or someone, I'm working for someone, and maybe because it was also because of my upbringing, wherein I had to always depend on my dad. Like, my dad was also always my safety net. And though, even though I know that magaling ako or I'm good at what I do, I'm so scared of doing it on my own. And thus in this journey as well, I am taking the risk. I have update recently been adding people in the team and surrendering to the process, just trusting that the universe is there to hold me and support me. And also, I have just moved and uprooted my family from our hometown back in Davao, now here in Manila. Really, a lot of things has been happening, a lot of beautiful, wonderful things, which I'm also surprised. And at the same time, I also know that it was gonna happen. And yeah, now that I'm here, I'm getting more comfortable speaking for my truth and really creating the change and sharing to everybody what I have learned over the years. And so I'll be sharing more about that in this channel, wherever you are listening. It can be in Spotify or YouTube or wherever. And yeah, I'm just really here to share what I know, just so I can inspire more people. And I guess it also boils down to my why, that at the end of the day, there is a child coming home to a complete mother and a complete father, that they don't have to pass on their traumas or their hurt because they don't know how to process it. So it's a healed mom and a healed parents. So everything that I do is greatly related to the kids, to the next generation. And thus, that is why the purpose is so deep. And that's why I'm still here on this journey. I'm still here mentoring and helping people, because it's a lifelong fulfillment, a fulfillment of purpose, right? Yeah, I'm just really here to live out. As long as I have the energy, I'll keep on rolling with what's available and what's the opportunity. And so next, we are gonna continue on to the 33 things that I learned now that I am 33. Is that, let's go to money. Let's talk about money. Money is a reflection of energy. When your energy is clear, your value aligns and the abundance flows. So I used to really have a struggle with money. I was very living in scarcity. I always felt like I was running out all the time. And in my journey, in my 33 years, I have learned and had a better relationship with money, because money is just an energy presented in a physical form, so that it can be translated to monetary, like you can exchange that into something. I believe that money is an energy wherein it is a physical form of the energy and the value that you give. So what I learned about money is that, kasi nga I have a very bad relationship with money. I felt like it was running out all the time. Pero for me, money is a way for you to express your energy and be given that in return. So the bigger value, the more that you can help people, the more that it translates to money. The more that you can exchange that money into an emotional, or in an emotion that people lack, it also translates to money. The more that you give value and help other people, because of the energy that you put out, it will also be given back to you. And so with this lesson here in 11, it says that when your energy is clear, your value aligns and the abundance flows. And there are different types of money flow. There's different types of abundance flow. Just for me, my flow is me being true to myself and really being living in integrity. There are money that are easy money, but then bigla din sila nawawala because it's not rooted in integrity, and you will always find yourself wanting for more. But for me, it's really more about like when money comes to me, I don't really spend it for people to like me. I'm not here to please anyone. When money comes into me, I really give it back to the community because it brings me joy. And I really bring it back to my why, to my mission, and to really live on life. I am big on investment of self. I'm big on learning wisdom because I know that wisdom cannot be taken away from us. When everything else can be taken away, parang wisdom cannot. And when you chase after money, when you chase after fame, it never runs. Parang you never get contented. So might as well you put that money somewhere that can add wisdom. Kasi at least man lang if you're just gonna not be contented, yun na lang sa wisdom para meron ka namang ROI doon and hindi nga siya nauubos, and you get to pass it along different generations and up until generations, and you leave a legacy because of that. So the money is really a way for you to experience life, and I hope that you are also honoring money and how it can also help you. I hope that you use your money for you to feel great and to feel happy. And yeah, that's what money is for me. So I really had a very great relationship of money. The more energy I have, the more happier I have. It is always translating to money because yeah, that is just my translation of what abundance is, no? So, continuing on, everything is energy. As what I've mentioned, in the very core of who we are all energy. Everything that you're seeing here, it is all energy, and it is entirely dependent on how you translate the things that you see. This might be a microphone for me, pero for some people, this might be something to hurt people or to wash or alam mo, mga ganong bagay. So it entirely depends on how you translate it. My words, it doesn't have a meaning. It doesn't mean anything except it's just an energy being translated to you, and depending on how you receive my words, that is going to be how you will perceive me as well, depending as well on how what's happening inside. That's going to be projected on how you perceive me. So everything is just energy. Just know that people, places, words, choices, learn to read frequency, and you'll never be lost again. I have a very great awareness when it comes to energy because I have been deep diving energy. I have been deep diving into emotions. I have been deep diving on how emotions can translate to abundance. And if you just know and make sense of what shame, dogma, acceptance, love is in a different, in a very leveled, in a deeper level, you'll make sense of what I'm saying. But then if you know the language of the universe, if you know the language of energy, if you know what 3D, 4D, 5D, and 7D is all about, then you become a master of life. And so I really just hope that everybody gets to learn about energy, because the more you have knowledge on energy, the more you know how to play it. And what you put energy into, it comes to life. And so I hope that someday I will be talking about what energy is, just so everybody can be informed what it is. Pero everything is energy. The things around you has energy. The places, even the smallest things has energy. This has energy, meaning an energy that can be translated to you because you now have a definition, or you now have a story of what this is, and so it consumes you as well. So you also have to make sure that everything around you, you are very careful. You have to be intentional about what you put in your spaces. You have to be intentional that if I put this here, is this going to be expansive for me? If I have a communication with this person, is this going to expand me? Is this going to enlighten me? Is this going to improve the quality of my life? So that's just really awareness that you just don't recklessly spend time and energy to people that does not improve your well-being. And yeah, I hope that you get to be surrounded by people who really support you and see you and become a safe space for you to express yourself, because the more that you express yourself, the more that you enjoy life, because the more energy you give out, it's also what you will receive, no? So yes, that's it. Number 13, you only need one person to believe in you, and it starts with you. The one decision to trust yourself shifts everything. I've always been told to really take care of my body, and because of the many excuses that I have, that I'm too busy, I'm too this, I'm too that, it never really happens, or I'm very inconsistent. I have joined many groups and I have enrolled in many gym membership, Pero if I do not decide, it won't really happen. So for example, prior to our wedding, I really decided and made the choice that I really need to work on myself. I need to trust myself. I need to believe in me na kaya ko. Because even if you tell me, or even if you tell a person that they are great at what they do, if they are not ready to receive, or if they are not ready to believe in themselves, hindi talaga yan mangyayari. So it has to come with you. No one else, even if everybody in the world believes in you, but you don't believe in you, wala pa rin. So the last say talaga is you get to say the reality, you get to create your reality, and it is entirely dependent on how you see yourself. And that's why it's very important for you to work on yourself, to work on the inside. What's happening outside is a reflection of what's happening inside. The outside is just a byproduct of the work that you have done inside. So your beliefs shape your reality. Check your thoughts, rewrite the script, and create new truths. So I always say that your beliefs will always shape your reality, because your mind doesn't know what's real or not. And when you believe on something, your mind will constantly look for evidences to make it real. Like, for example, if I tell you to find a red car on the road, you will really spot a red car on the road because your mind has already told you that there are red cars all around. And so your mind will always look for red cars and you will find it. And whatever you focus on, your energy flows, and whatever you put your energy into, it comes to life. And so you have to really be careful with what you listen to, with who you say yes to, with what you consume. And because this is something that you can control. However, the things around you, you cannot, but you can control what's happening inside sa'yo. So going back na, your belief will always shape your reality. So you have to be really careful on what you listen to, because it will really shape your reality. Whatever you put your focus on, your energy flows, and that happens in your reality as well. So going back, I was talking about manifestation. Sabi nila, like, how do you really manifest things, Lib? Kasi ako, I have been manifesting a lot of things. When I want something, it happens real quick. In just a few weeks, nandiyan na siya agad. So how? For you to be able to manifest the things that you want, first of all, you have to know what you really want. Because unless you know what you want, you will be going in circles. You won't have the boundaries. You're going to waste your time, your resources, your energy. And so if you know where you are going, you have to match the frequency of that person. For example, yung person na yun knows how to communicate. If that person knows how to take care of themselves, if that person is crystal clear about what they want, you also have to match that frequency and to act as if tapos na, ikaw na yon. So it's always the be, do, have concept para you meet along the way, that when you meet him, oh, sabi ko sa'yo, this is the path. If you really want something in your life, you also have to manifest that person, or you also have to embody that type of person para mabilis na lang for you to get there to where you're supposed to go. And that's exactly what I did. I started with nothing before, but then I just had this vision. I had a pathway. I have my roadmap as to how to get there. And when I had the roadmap, I kept asking. I followed the golden nuggets, and I really worked to get there. I would ask for what I want and pitch myself in and show up as my best self, because alam ko saan ako papunta. So I also have to show up as that person. And that's just how manifestation works. All right? You have to know where you are going so that you're not gonna go in circles, and mas directed yung attention mo, mas directed yung focus mo, and alam mo pa ano yung ayaw mo, ano yung gusto mo, and you know what boundaries to set. That's the easiest way to get to where you are. If you want to be the best, let's say for example, they're the best filmmaker. How can you match that filmmaker to your reality? You also have to step up. You have to connect with the right people. You have to read the books that will supplement your knowledge, so that when it's there na, you're ready na to receive. Now, 15. Malapit na ako matapos dito sa second part. Society taught us to tie worth to how we look, but real worth is untouchable, it's not visible, it's felt. Ever since we grew up, nasa TV na tayo, and there's always social media. And since our mind is very fresh, we still don't have that exposure towards the world. The truth will be dependent on what you are exposed to. Kaya careful ka dapat. If you have kids, you have to be very careful of what they absorb. Because then, when they are so fresh and they are very pure, wala pang layers of belief, that's when you can learn how to protect them, especially with what they know. Ages 0 to 7 are the children's more parang conditioning. Doon mo sila maproprogram, because the truth that they learn on the age 0 to 7 will be a truth that they would embody. It will be a foundation of their growth growing up. And so if you have kids, you have to be very careful of who they surround themselves with, because if the truth that they had 0 to 7 says na treat it as their truth, and thus the foundation of their personality, of their beingness, is based on that truth that they stood up ever since they were young. No? It was also mentioned to us that we were growing up that you need to look this part just so you can be accepted. And that's the thing, it's always business. And unless you know who you are, you will keep on depending that self-worth towards other things because that's just how society works. Society is more on consume and consume instead of creating, because once you discover the secret of really abundance, it's really about creating. And yeah, if you keep measuring your worth based on the things that you have, you'll never get contented, and it's a never ending game because there's always someone better than you. There's always something bigger. And my clients would always say na live nakakapagod, but then now when they learned about not outsourcing that love, because you only do that because you want to feel love. You want to buy things because you want to belong. We only buy things because you want to feel like we are validated through the things that we buy, because that's the only truth that we have now. But then when you learn that, all the feeling, the emotion, the joy, the validation, if you learn to inwardly insource that, you don't really need to outsource that from things. You now have that parang I am complete and I don't need to have those things to be able for me to feel validated or accepted. And so if you learn the art of working within and being the one that is producing that joy and not depending it towards other people, it will be easier for you now to go through the motions of life, and you'll have your contentment with yourself, right? So there. And then we're almost done. When you choose to do the work, life starts to work for you. So self-awareness is a portal to freedom. Everything changes when you change. And so in this part, when you choose to do the work, it really meant that when you go within, the outward will follow. Self-awareness is just potential power. Power is when you execute what you have, what the self-awareness has taught you. And when you go within, it's also meeting your shadows, because your shadows has been there holding you back, and you will only move forward if you start to address the shadows that has been there, no. And yeah, it takes a lot of bravery and courage to be able to face your shadows so that you can have a change of behavior while facing the shadows. And so, with that being said, I think I'm already done on this part. There's a lot of things that I still want to share with you, but I really do hope that everything that you have learned on this episode, you get it to apply it in your real life. And everything again is just awareness. What happens, this is just a potential power that you can use, a tool for you to thrive. It's not survive, thrive, and not go blindly with life. And I hope that you have learned a lot. If you have learned a lot, please tag me on Instagram and here on YouTube or in Spotify. And if you can share this, feel free to share this. I feel like everybody needs to hear this message. And I guess that is it for me. Hope to see you on the next episode. Bye, guys.